Yo, it's MOBI, West London Stand Up. I'm here for Break the Bars with JVH Studios, so let's break down these bars, innit?
The young G's don't know why I'm angry, but soon there will be two. The feds always on my case, so I cover my face, now they don't know who.
So the young G's don't know why I'm angry, but soon there will be two. The feds always on my case, so I cover my face, now they don't know who. Basically, what I'm saying is, like, the younger lot, innit, the ones that are still growing up in the ends, they're on the curves, yeah? They don't understand why I'm angry because they don't really, because they're young, they don't really feel the effects of what's happening with the government and the oppression and that. They're just obviously going to school, coming home, going straight onto the curb and stuff. Some of them get back, some of them don't. More time, nothing really happens to you till you're older anyway. It's normally like slaps on the wrist and that. So they're not really getting angry with shit like that the government are doing because they don't know how it's going to affect their future until they get there. But we know how it's affected our future from the past decisions that governments have made and that. So, yeah, soon there will be two because obviously they're going to grow up. And when they grow up, they're going to feel what man's feeling now. And then, yeah, like, Fed's always on my case, basically, like, pretty much every other day, like, I'm getting pulled over or, like, I'm getting stopped and searched, or I see another brother getting, like, face on a bonnet. Like, it's one thing after the other. It speaks for everybody, bruv. Like, it's just being harassed by feds and the system being corrupt and being targeted by feds, pretty much. So that's why I cover my face now, innit? Because a lot of us are covering our face because of Corona anyway, so it makes it, I guess, easier for us to deal with feds because they don't know who we are, they don't know who they're looking for, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's how that one goes.
I might still run a man down on the paper, I gotta transform like Majin Buu.
I said I might still run a man down on the paper, I got to transform like Majin Buu. Basically, obviously I grew up on an estate, a council estate, in West London, and then I've moved various houses as well, and like just some of the people that I've hung around, like they've not ended up in the best situations, myself too, and a couple of them. And I guess even still now, sometimes situations could be a bit peak. So it's basically just trying to say, like, I'm trying to be different now, I'm trying to transform like Majin Buu did, because at the end of it, he ended up a good character, do you know what I'm saying? Like, he ended up into the big blobby thing. So yeah, it's just trying to better yourself, trying to develop, trying to transform essentially from like one way of life into another way of life, pretty much. So, but obviously, you're still vexed at what the government's doing. So it's kind of like you're saying you want us to change and to be better and to not do these things on the streets, but then you're not really giving us a route out. So it's all a bit mad, really. Then after that, I said,
and how can you say that you won't take the knee and the protest was dreadful?
And how can you say that you won't take the knee and the protest was dreadful? Basically, that's relating to a politician who we all know very well. Her name's Preeti Patel. I'm not even going to get into it with her, innit? Because she's a different thing, bro. One day I'm going to make her a video vixen because she's a joke. Anyway, yeah, like, she basically said on a radio show one time that she thought the protest for the BLM march was like stupid and it was dreadful, and it was like there was no necessary need for that we could have handled it a different way. But then she never obviously said any constructive criticism onto how we should have handled it. She said that she basically never take the knee because she doesn't believe that that's the way to protest your rights, pretty much. And I'm just thinking, rah, like, can you not get any worse than what you're saying, sort of thing. So yeah, so I put that in there basically so people knew what was going on, because most people probably would have never heard that radio show. I only just saw the snippet on social media, and then that's what made me listen to the whole thing and hear what else she was saying. But yeah, then after that, basically, I said, how can you Patel man that? Because obviously her name's Preeti Patel, innit? And there's an ad-lib that says Preeti, so I said, how can you Patel man that? So how can you say basically what you just said about not being taken a knee and stuff like that? And then yeah, let's run into the next bars from that.
Verbs on the radio, you ain't done shit. And now you talking about caps and boys. Where's all the beats for the NHS? Where they at? It's about time that the government stop waffling and state some facts. Stop waffling and state some.
So after I said, how can you Patel man that? Bare verbs on the radio, you ain't done shit. And now you're talking about caps. So that was basically the same thing she was talking about before. And then she's talking about capping NHS budgets and all this kind of shit, which is obviously jarring for them a lot, because like they're already trying to save the country and that. Bare verbs on the radio, she's just talking mass on the radio, and you ain't done shit, and now you're talking about caps. And Boris, where's all the peace for the NHS? Because obviously they promised bare things for the NHS. And yeah, they're not giving it to them. So it says where they at. And then it's like, it's about time that the government stop waffling and states and facts. And then obviously I repeat, stop waffling and states and facts. Because basically, obviously, there's bare waffle. Like Boris says, like, and all of this kind of stuff. Everybody's had the imitations and that. So it's like we just want to hear facts. We want to hear exactly what it is, and don't bite around the corners. So yeah, let's get into the verse, man.
I've been in the field and I've been on the back of the bus like Rosa Parks.
So I basically said, I've been in the field and I've been on the back of the bus like Rosa Parks. That's a double meaning. So I've been in the field, obviously, most people know what that means, but also like I play football as well. And then I've been on the back of the bus at Rosa Parks. It basically is the two meanings. Like obviously I've been on the back of a bus. Most of us have been sitting on the back of a bus, but it also basically means I've been in sticky situations that I shouldn't have had to have been in. Because obviously Rosa was in that situation. She sat at the back of the bus where she was allowed to sit. But obviously the fact that they're telling her that she needs to get out of her seat, like that's a joke thing, do you know what I mean? She's a human at the end of the day. So that was a sticky situation she was in throughout history, and that like shouldn't have happened because nobody should have been oppressed in that kind of way, you get me? Yeah, run it.
Obviously I'm standing right here, I ain't like Fuse, I'm not off the ground. By the way that they won this.
Cool, so I said, officer, I'm standing right here, ain't like Fuse, I'm not off the ground. So basically, I've been in bare situations with the feds, unfortunately. And basically what I'm saying is like, I'm standing here, officer, like I'm not going anywhere, I'm not trying to run. Like, please treat me fairly situation. I'm saying I'm not off the ground because like I'm not trying to run, I'm not jumping, do you know what I'm saying? But I said that's because I'm not like Fuse, and obviously Fuse ODG, Fuse off the ground. So that's how I just linked the sentence in pretty much. But yeah, a little bit of a play on words with that one.
Or will you run? I can step with bro like Hunt and Chewy, or step on a solo one.
I said I could step with bro like Han and Chewie or step on a solo one. So most of you Star Wars fans will get that that's obviously a Star Wars bar. Like I step with my bro, like Han Solo and Chewie, they're always together. But I step with like Han and Chewie, or I could step on a solo one. Han Solo, obviously, I can step on my ones, basically.
Can't be worse than handing his brethren $3 billion. Why you slide with your peas when the evidence there? Contract done, should have got ball.
Obviously, there's a blurred out name. One Don in Parliament. For some reason, I can't mention his name, I was told. Yeah, he basically, when like they was like, okay, cool, we need to get PPE and all this kind of stuff, he was given charge of that job. And my man was like, okay, cool, how can I make some peas out of this? He went and told one of his brethren that owns a pub, boom, go like quickly buy like bare face masks and stuff from like Scandinavia, and I'm going to give you the government contract. Gave man the government contract, signed over like £3 billion or something stupid like that over to his brethren that just owns a pub, and literally whatever the name of the pub was on the contract, boom. After that, man's obviously gone and bought all the kit, £3 billion, priced it up, and then they've just obviously split their money, innit? So it's mad. And it was just bare sliving the peas. And obviously, it was just stupid. Like, I don't know how he never thought no one was going to look into it, innit? So it was bait, but apparently he's allowed to do it because he got away with it. Man still got his job in that. So yeah. Yeah, that's what that bar was about.
Tell me who realised Sadiq in the range when he screams out emissions.
Okay, so I said Sadiq in the range, but he screamed about emissions. So basically, he did like press conferences basically saying the emissions are obviously killing the kids. We need to get the emissions down. So instead of obviously moving the emissions down, they just said get rid of petrol diesel cars later on. And obviously they put in the ULEZ thing to obviously make people pay more, which is dumb because people are just going to pay in it. They need to drive their car. At the end of the day, it's not going to stop people from driving their car. They're just giving you more money. If you wanted to stop it, you would have just told people to stop driving the cars, innit? So anyway, he said obviously don't drive these big diesel cars and all these cars through London because the kids are like going to inhale the smog and that. But then he just drives around in a £3,000 Range Rover. Like, that's what he gets chauffeured in around London all the time. So it don't make no sense. And that thing's like 3.5 litres or something. So, like, I don't know, bro. It's just hypocritical and I don't like it at all. Get me?
Feds using back doors laugh now, but they will cry later like Lil Durk. Wanna know their perks? The feds just get more power and murder.
Okay, cool. So I said, feds using back doors laugh now, but they will cry later like Lil Durk. Wanna know their perks? The feds just get more power and merch. So, like, I don't know if any of you lot have seen a TV show that I watch on BBC sometimes called Line of Duty. It's basically about like corrupt cops and how they do like, it's a drama series, but like we all know it's really going on. It's like how shady they are and how they do things behind the books and how they get their numbers up and stuff like that to make sure people get the arrests and all the big things that feds do. It's all mad. Apparently the crime rate goes up when that TV show comes on as well every season. It's mad. But basically the feds use different like techniques and like there's so many different slimy ways they can do things to make things look a different way from how it is. And like that's why they're always in twos when they come and arrest people, because they need a witness. So in their way, it's like they can coincide together to make sure that they are like saying the right thing, so that it don't sound different to the public or to like their like employers and stuff like that. So yeah, basically they're laughing now because obviously they've done this, but like a lot of police officers that have done shit have been caught out now as well. Do you know what I mean? Obviously sometimes it's a bit too late. So it says laugh now, but they will cry later, like Lord Dirk. So you can laugh now, but you're going to cry later because it's going to come back to bite you, innit? Do you know what I mean? Everybody believes in energy, everybody believes in karma. It's going to come back to bite you. And obviously, Lord Dirk's got a song with Drake called Laugh Now, Cry Later. So that's how I made that one run together.
Connor Ferguson sang till one can hang, till two can hang, till three went down, test and chase them bang.
So stuck inside like cage animals. Colonel Ferguson sang till one can hang, till two can hang, till three went down, test and chase them bang. So, no Ferguson, this is obviously like, this is all based around like COVID and being in lockdown and all that. No Ferguson is the scientist that actually put us into like lockdown in the first place. And he's obviously the one as well that got caught like beating someone else in Parliament's like wife or something like that during the lockdown period. So yeah, basically, we were stuck inside like cage animals because he sang in it, because he was like, boom, we need to go into lockdown, right? And then I basically said, till one couldn't hang, till two couldn't hang, till three weren't dank, test and trace didn't bang, because none of them fucking worked. Do you get what I'm saying? All of that tier system was bullshit. And obviously the test and trace thing was a fucking joke at the beginning as well, and kind of still is now. And yeah, that's that bar.
You only speak one language, pull up to the cop, trying to rise and town. Covered in red like the house on laws, do you really want to go toe to toe with gang? Always trying to silence man, after this tune I'll probably get a ban. And we need to treat our queens better, stop following this ain't Instagram.
And then I said, pull up to the, I can't obviously say it, trying to, and I can't say that bit either, or and that bit. But basically, I'm saying I'm going somewhere and I'm going to do something. And then covered in red like the House of Lords, you really want to go toe to toe with gang, pretty much. Covered in red, obviously everybody knows the double entendre for that one. Like the House of Lords. So in the House of Lords, them man, they have to wear like red gowns and the seats are red. But obviously the House of Lords is like one of the places that the Parliament lot speak as well. So yeah, like they don't really understand what's coming for them, what the future's going to hold for Parliament and the feds and the whole system. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's out here trying to do their own thing and nobody really has any trust in them man anymore. So it's only soon time before things get out of hand, you get me? Oh, it's been Mobi. You can find me on Insta, MOBI1 Moves, MOBI1, MOVS. Yeah, that's Majin Buu. It's out now on all streaming platforms. 2 videos, one on JDZ, one on Link Up. More than welcome to go run that up as well. Make sure you like and subscribe to JVS Studios. And yeah, I got more things coming, more things rolling through. I've done bare tracks. So yeah, the next thing's a bit deeper than this one, to be honest. But yeah, the next one's coming out soon. But early next year, we're going to drop that. So yeah, make sure you stay locked in it. Love.